The whole world is literally talking about this movie. Everyone predicted it would be this successful before it even came out, and honestly, it lived up to every single expectation. Before we get into the Backrooms characters and the film itself, make sure you subscribe to the channel because by the end of this video, you'll know everything there is to know about the Backrooms.
The fact that it's actually a wooden structure for the most part is nice.
Are you kind of always going into places being like, this would work? Like, this would be a great set?
A little bit, but it's more the other way around, where the only reason I'm doing this project in the first place is because I go into places and I'm like, I wish there was a way for me to channel how much I love places. I wish there was a project that I could do just to externalize some of that.
Absolutely.
The Backrooms story began in 2019 on 4chan with a photograph, yellow walls, wet carpets, and endless corridors.
Your attention to detail on camcorders, in my opinion, is second to none for recreating like how a camcorder behaves. Where did that come from? Like, are you testing equipment to match that? Are you watching a lot of found footage stuff?
Well, I appreciate you saying that because I feel like I personally have not done all the things I need to be doing. I think what is true of the I think what we do is we do authentically run it through a VCR.
Yeah.
But I think I really want to get better at emulating the actual sensor on some of these cameras. We didn't have time on this.
An internet user wrote, if you glitch out of reality in the wrong place, you'll fall into the Backrooms.
Production to figure that out, just because there's only so many things you can be hyper fixated on.
Totally.
But generally speaking, you know, the conversion process is true to the camera. I would never like go into a filter, a VHS filter on top of things. So, you know, I think that part, the tape emulation aspect, is just tape. There's no emulation. But I think then generally, like, you know, we play with we color grade a lot before and after the conversion to kind of, you know, play into, I think, the cultural expectation of that media.
Yeah.
In 2022, a teenager aged 16 to 17 uploaded a video to YouTube under the pseudonym Kane Pixels. This 4-minute found footage was watched by millions within 24 hours.
And I think there's probably like versions in my own head, like being a fan and also somebody who makes things for the internet too, where like, did you ever think that maybe was the idea of a feature like an hour and 20-minute walk around like you did Oldest View? Do you know what I mean? Where it kind of feels more like a more found footage than it does narrative. Did that ever cross your mind going into this?
We considered it, but largely, you know, when this first started, YouTube is an end goal in my mind, or like it's not a means to an end of getting. It's not like I do YouTube so I could try to get a feature or anything like that. I really enjoy the work that I've done there, and the Oldest View would only, like, you know, people keep asking, you know, now that Backrooms is tracking well, it's like endless swarm of people questioning if there will be an Oldest View movie and whatnot, and I feel there's only one version of that could work. That you know, I'm sure there's infinite, but my brain has only come up with one. And I think you'd be hard pressed to execute on it. I think it'd be very difficult to do right. So for now, I think it is best served on YouTube. I think that's what it was built for, and I think why touch it? So I think, you know, different medium, I love it. Creative satisfaction is equal, if not slightly even higher on the YouTube work I do. But I think in the beginning, I really wanted to, with Backrooms, because it's a serialized IP and a long-standing sort of trajectory, and I like taking my time. I would never be accused of being like a concise filmmaker. I think I did a 15-minute or like 11-minute video just talking about the ceiling tiles and the troffers and stuff.
We then attempted to cut power to the nearest fluorescent light fixture, a standard troffer.
The video went so viral that production company A24 immediately sprang into action. The most prestigious name in horror cinema decided to bring a teenager's YouTube series to the big screen, and that's how it's in theaters today.
What were your expectations before you met him, and was there anything different about working with a director who didn't come up through the studio system?
I think we had that first conversation. I don't know what my expectations were actually, but I didn't have any. I don't, you know, you just never know. I mean, I watched the shorts, and obviously I went down that particular rabbit hole, and it's very exciting, it's terrifying, it's all of the things, and then...
And now we get to the real thing. The people waiting for this movie are split into two camps. One side is saying A24 is gonna ruin this. The other side is saying this is gonna be the greatest horror film of our generation. But here's the thing, both of those takes are missing the point, because the Backrooms movie is not just another horror film. This project, if done right, could be something that rewrites the rules of horror cinema completely. Think about it for a second. Every single day, millions of people across America walk through those yellow-walled office corridors, that dead quiet mall in Minnesota, that empty warehouse district in Texas. These places existed long before Backrooms was ever a thing, but nobody was looking at them. Kane Parsons, a 16-year-old kid, saw that truth and showed it to the world. Now A24 is taking that truth to the big screen. And the real question is, does A24 deserve this? My answer is yes, but only under one condition.
I remember because I had seen like these videos of liminal spaces and also seen some of Kane's short films, but I didn't know like him, or I was just intrigued by how big it was online. And then 6 months later, we had a conversation because I was offered to do this, and that conversation was so great. I understood like how smart he is, how detailed he is in his work, and the respect he had for the process of making this into a movie, or making sure that that atmosphere and that environment, that was kept in. Also adding these characters, and like the characters was so, it's kind of like they are mirroring each other, the characters and that their surroundings. So just the way he talked about it, I knew that we would be taken care of.
So when looking at this film as a continuation of the project that exists, because it's the only way I will ever look at Backrooms. With any new project I do, like...
What made Kane's videos hit so different? No jump scares, no dramatic music, just that sound, that hum, that emptiness, and the fear that the viewer's own mind created. If A24 keeps that formula intact, I can tell you right now, this is shaping up to be the first film that could actually exceed my expectations. That feeling hasn't been there for a long time with any movie. Here's what people are debating online right now. If they explain too much, the magic is gone. And that fear is completely valid. The power of Backrooms comes from its uncertainty. The moment you fully show the monster, the fear dies. But look at A24's track record. Look at what they've done before. This studio does not hand everything to the audience on a silver platter. They leave you thinking. They walk you out of that theater deeply unsettled.
With this film, a goal of mine is always to make sure I'm not so self-absorbed with the material that it's not approachable for new people. And same thing with if I get to do that TV series for Backrooms, like that will be, yes, connected to everything, and yes, for people who are familiar, they will not be like losing their mind that suddenly now things are different and anything has changed. It will be the exact same canon, like a new entry into it. But I do think that, like my audience was on a train of thought where everything that is showing up in the third act, the new lore is more just a clarification of things, like visualization of certain logical threads they were already pulling on and could have maybe, like, I think some people literally did do like fan art or concept art of what still lifes could look like that look almost one for one or what we have in the film, because it's following the same sort of thread of design.
Now picture those movie theaters in Chicago, in Los Angeles, in New York City on opening night. That yellow light hits the screen. That fluorescent hum rises through the speakers. What does the silence in that room feel like? Picture that moment. Because that moment is coming. This film is getting made. This story is hitting the big screen. And I believe when Kane Parsons' genius meets A24's filmmaking power, what comes out won't just be a horror movie. It will be a defining moment for horror cinema. Watch and see. If this content got you hyped, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We cover celebrities, culture, and content exactly like this, and we need your support to hit our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Be part of this.